Hello and welcome to the Mastering Relationships free training session. I like to call it a jam session because really, like Bob Marley, we're going to be jamming today. There's going to be loads and loads of great free content for you, valuable, or should I say invaluable information as well. Welcome once again. You're in for a really great treat. And I'm super excited to have you here. Super excited. And let me tell you this, you are in for a great ride. Okay? We're going to be covering a lot of amazing principles, techniques, and really delving into very important territory. Again, it's the Mastering Relationships free training session, and I'm your host, Ike Star. Now, we'll be talking about topics such as reattracting your ex or how to find new love. We're going to be talking about how to understand women, how to really get your relationships fired up. We're going to be destroying some myths about what women like and what women respond to, about calling and texting, all that good stuff. Really invaluable information. I'm really excited for you, and you have made such a great decision to attend this webinar, and I promise you, you will not regret it. Okay? Excellent. Now, really quickly, we want to do some housekeeping. We want to start avoiding any form of distraction right now, guys. So you've made the decision to attend this webinar, so you have to get the value intended for this free training session. So do yourself a massive favor now. Yeah, if you're attending this webinar via phone, that's fine. But please, we don't want any distractions. So shut off the social signals. So we don't want to be distracted by Facebook notifications, Instagram, your DMs, all of that. Take a moment now to shut off all and any form of distraction. Okay? If you're not using your phone, put it on airplane mode now. Isolate yourself in a space in a room where you're not going to be distracted or interrupted. Please do this now. Okay? If you've got kids, the kids are still going to be there at the end of this webinar, hopefully. If you've got friends, etc., you can still hang out with them at the end of this process. So turn out the television. Get yourself into a quiet space where no one's going to interrupt you or bother you. This is very important, guys. Please take a moment to do that now. Shut off the social signals, the phone, the radio, the television, all of those distractions. Get rid of it now. Okay, I'm waiting. Get yourself into that space. Give yourself this moment. Give yourself this time. Give yourself the gift of this webinar. Because this webinar is going to change your life. This is going to put you on the path to a wondrous journey. Okay? This is the beginning of the rest of your life. Because the kind of information that you will be receiving in this webinar, I tell you, it will change your life. Okay? And I jump straight into the big promise. So my promise to you, and we go like this. Are you tired of losing with women? I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. That's why you are attending this webinar today. Have you had enough of having absolutely no clue what women really want? Now, my promise to you is that this free training will teach you how to potentially reattract an ex. Or, if you are really bold, if you're really audacious, it will teach you how to get someone new and infinitely better. My promise to you by the end of the seminar is that you will gain an understanding once and for all about why you have not had the level of success with women and your relationships that you potentially could have. That's my big bold promise to you today. So by now I'm sure you've gotten rid of the distractions. You're now ready, comfortable, shake yourself up and you're settled in. And let's go. Now, I've got a special free gift for all of you who stay with me till the end of this webinar. Now, this is not a bribe, because I'm sure you've attended and you've registered and you're attending this webinar because you know you're going to get some value, because you want your problem solved, because you want your pain to go away, you want resolution to the conflict in your relationships and in your mind. That is why you're in this webinar. This is why you're attending this free training session. But because I'm good like that, I will be giving you and everyone who stays to the end of this webinar a special free gift with a value of $197. So the gift itself is worth $197. So that is something worth sticking around for till the very end, if not just for the great information and value you're going to be receiving. Okay, so again, a special free gift for everyone who stays to the end of the seminar. And that's because I'm nice and sweet like that, guys. Okay, so stick around, get ready, because we are starting. And again, just another little touch regarding the distraction or removing distractions. Okay, so put the do not disturb sign now, and I will leave it with this quote from Winston Churchill. He says, "You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks." That's worth bearing in mind. Okay, now we're ready. Without much ado, shall we proceed, baby, please? Now, again, the reason for this webinar, just to be redundant with it, is we're here to teach you, to transform you, and to transact with you. Now, I did ask the initial question, are you tired of losing with women? The teaching aspect is, this webinar is going to teach you exactly what to do to end that cycle of pain. You know, a lot of dudes, a lot of guys, they're not tired. They're happy to keep losing women to other men, to men who really know what they're doing. You know, a girl breaks up with them, and now they're in the arms of another dude who actually knows what he's doing. Are you tired of losing good women? Now, my job here today in this webinar is to teach you what you've been doing wrong, teach you the techniques, the principles that you need to ingrain in yourself, in your mind, in a mindset shift, so that you turn this around, so that you join that elite membership of men who know what women want, who know what women respond to, and definitely knows what you shouldn't do to turn them off. So we're here to teach you. That's one of the reasons for this webinar. Second reason is to transform you. With the teaching, with the knowledge, with the understanding comes transformation. An end of your pain, an end of your disheartening, of the heartbreak, of the confusion, of the nonsense. You will learn exactly what you have been doing wrong, so that you can have the kind of success you deserve with women, that you deserve in your relationships, that you deserve in your life. And finally, the reason for this webinar is I would like to transact with you. So you will discover why only 1% of men really understand women. But most importantly with this transaction, you will become one of us. Okay? Only 1% of men really understand what women respond to and what turns them off, and who has a practical understanding of how to apply those principles. Only 1%. The rest are basically in trial and error mode. Okay? So the webinar is here to teach, transform, and transact with you. Period. Now, we're going to skip quickly to a slight preamble, a slight introduction. Okay? And I'm going to start with a quote from Oscar Wilde. And he says, "An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all." This is where I introduce myself. This is where your host introduces himself. And really, I'm here to tell you why I'm qualified to host this webinar, why I'm qualified to disseminate blah, 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 the information, to give you this teaching, this coaching. I introduced myself at the beginning. My name is Ike Star. I am your host. I am your coach. I am your trainer. I am your guru. I have been through the valleys with this. I have had incredible levels of rejection. So don't think that this is somebody who doesn't understand what you're going through or what you have been through. I have been through the shit with it. I have had incredible levels of rejection, loneliness, ridicule with women in regards to this journey. And when I say an idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea, that quote from Oscar Wilde is simply saying that I'm here to plant a dangerous idea in your mind. The idea is going to be dangerous to your disappointments. It's going to be dangerous to your pain. It's going to be dangerous to your breakups. It's going to be dangerous to your heartaches. It's going to be dangerous to your confusion. It's going to be dangerous to your friend zoning, dangerous to your rejection, dangerous to your ghosting. It will be dangerous to all the vicissitudes and the nonsense you've had to endure because of a lack of information, a lack of proper structure with your interaction with women. And if the idea is not dangerous to those pains, then it's not worth it. So that's why you're here. And who am I? I have been through the pain. I have been through the rejection. I have had countless horrific stories with women. A particular event years and years ago, I was going out with this young lady, and I didn't know the hoot what I was doing. I went out, I bought her a nice gift, a nice piece of jewelry, and we see this in television, we see this in media, you buy girls things, and you act sweet and nice and all of that, and it should work, shouldn't it? Now I buy her this beautiful piece of jewelry, I give it to her, and I'm like, yes. Within 24 hours, I get a call from her, and she says she doesn't want anything serious, she just wants to be friends. Of course, a lot of you have been there. I didn't have the proper response to that statement from her. I didn't understand how a woman I just spent a chunk of money to try and make happy just didn't care. I felt women were heartless. I felt I wasn't good enough. I felt that there was something wrong with me. I even began to feel that I was unattractive, or that there was just something fundamentally wrong or something missing with me. I didn't understand why a certain sector of men were having all the success and it seemed effortless with them, and I, with all my effort and all my gimmicks, nothing was working really. And it was all trial and error. I've had women break up with me, and within days they were in the arms of another man, and I chased and called and pleaded and showed up at the door. I made all the classic beta male mistakes. And of course, I am here to tell you none of that stuff works, dude. And this level of rejection and confusion was what put me on the path of understanding. And I made up my mind that I was going to research. I was going to find out exactly what was going wrong, and I was going to find out exactly the means, the techniques, the process, the understanding required to like clockwork succeed with the fairer sex. Everything else was going right in my life. I was making good money, I was doing well. It was just this aspect of my life that was just a nagging pain. My money wasn't doing it. My success in other areas wasn't cutting it with them. I was having mediocre success with women in that regards. I went into an intensive period of research. I spent thousands of hours in research, reading, studying, experimenting, trial and error, approaching women. I allowed myself to make tons and tons of mistakes until I saw a pattern. And I eventually came upon this system, this magnificent system of rules, principles, and tricks and hacks that will bring you incredible success with women. And I tell you what, I succeeded. So this is my story, this is my journey. And I decided after years of rejection, like I said, trial and error plus failure with women, that I would finally find out the key to what women respond to and what turns them off. And as you can see from this slide, I succeeded. I finally had the key. I found the system. It was like a switch. It was like a light bulb. It was like an eureka moment. And it finally clicked. And I succeeded. Because when you really invest yourself into trying to overcome a problem, and a lot of people are afraid of pain, but pain is your friend. Pain is there to point you to a direction of resolution. Pain is there to point you to growth. Pain is there to point you to freedom. And I succeeded. I broke through my pain. So now you don't have to waste time and money or go through the same incessant level of pain and heartache. I have been there, I have done that, and I have the key, I have the system, and I bring that system to you. I bring to you that set of rules and techniques that has worked for me, and that has worked for my clients, that has worked for my friends, because when they saw the level of success I started having with the fairer sex, they came to me with their own personal issues and situation. And it works. What works for me works for them, and it works like a charm. So this system works. Again, this is the Mastering Relationships, the complete training for men, and you are attending the free webinar for it, the free session. My struggle, my pain. Yes, I succeeded. I got the technique. And it had nothing to do with throwing your money at women. It had nothing to do with PUA or all of those silly techniques. It was just so simple. Understanding and hacking the female mindset. That's all it was. It's a hack. It's an understanding. It's a deep understanding. And I bring to you the principles. These principles will enable you to be able to reattract an ex. It will enable you to be able to fix a struggling marriage. It will enable you to be able to fix a struggling relationship. If you've never had a girlfriend, you will now begin to have choice, because this system will enable you to now have the kind of success. You will now eliminate trial and error. And as you may have realized, it's the key is not what society or Hollywood has told you that it is. That's not what women respond to. It's not what the social programming is telling you, baby. Heck, I love that word. Most women don't even know what they respond to themselves. And like I said earlier, only 1 to 3% of men actually do. So for me, the process of coming to this point was hard as a mofo. But I can tell you this, it made me strong as hell. And I bring to you the same techniques, and this is your time. You need to tap into this now, okay, to fix your relationship, to reattract that ex, to fix that struggling marriage. Here we go. We're going to go straight into it, baby, please. This is our desired outcome. From this webinar, this is our desired outcome. A lot of you find my work not because things are going dandy in your life, but essentially because things are going pear-shaped, which is fine. A lot of you are here because you've gone through a nasty breakup, or, the woman you love is, she's turned cold, or she's told you she just wants to be platonic or wants to be friends, or she's run off with another guy and you're still in love with her. A lot of people come and they find my work because they're trying to reattract an ex. That's fine. Our desired outcome is with the set of skills that we're going to be learning. You will learn how to reattract an ex, or like I always say, find someone potentially or infinitely better. The reason I say this is if you can reattract an ex, that can be a really wonderful thing, because your relationship can come back much stronger in part 2. However, sometimes a relationship has run its course and you need to have a reality check about that. So if that is the case, then your desired outcome will also be potentially finding someone infinitely better. Why not? We have 4.5 billion women on earth. You need to have an abundant mentality. You cannot have a scarcity mentality when it comes to women. You will learn that this is one of the biggest turnoffs with women. Women are like bloodhounds in that regards. They can sniff out neediness. They can sniff out that clingy energy, and it stinks to them. I tell you that if you have an abundance mentality, especially a lot of you dudes who are successful financially, you need to let your abundance mentality spill over into your relationship mindset, because women love that shit. They love a guy who's got options with women. And having said that, the second desired outcome is an understanding of the pickup stage, understanding how attraction works, what to do at the initial stage, how to look for indicators of attraction with a woman. You will understand that interaction with women is broken down into 3 stages: the pickup stage, the dating stage, and the relationship stage. Okay, the dating stage is the next step up after the pickup stage. You will be getting an understanding of the do's and don'ts of the dating phase and how and when to transit into it. And of course, how to transit into the final stage, which is the relationship stage. I've come up with a formula called the 3 M's. As you can see in that slide, the 3 M's is an acronym for make a date, make a laugh, and make love. Now, a lot of guys, they spend countless hours and they're on the phone texting a woman, thinking they're creating rapport, while actually they're talking her out of liking, or sleeping with them. They're talking her out of having anything to do with them, because they think that they're creating rapport. No, the phone is for making a date. So you're there to transact with her, to create a date, make for a specific time, for a specific place, and then you get off the bloody fucking phone, right? So you cannot create rapport and connection with a woman virtually, which is why long distance relationships are difficult. You can succeed with them, and there are ways of making them really juicy, but ultimately you cannot create rapport with a woman virtually. There has to be that physical interaction. You need to be able to look into her eyes. You need to be able to make her laugh, and of course the sexual element, you need to make love to her, because that's how women bond emotionally. Okay, so the 3 M's, we'll talk a bit more about that in an upcoming slide, but that's critical for the dating stage. And the relationship stage, that's an understanding of how that works, is our desired outcome as well. For a lot of you who are you're struggling in a relationship, you're in a marriage that's become sexless, that the love is beginning to fade, or it's faded altogether, or you're very close to a divorce, and we know how bloody expensive divorces can be. A lot of men, they don't have time to date their wives or date their girlfriends, or escalate their relationships, but they have plenty of time to go for divorce negotiations, spend thousands of dollars with divorce lawyers, spend thousands and thousands of dollars on alimony, etc. And a lot of men, they stay in this loveless relationship because of the kids. And this is a white herring. Because I'll be honest with you, the kids don't really want to see lovelessness with their parents. The relationship stage, I'll teach you that the dating never ends. You have to keep dating your wife, dating your partner. So you will learn how to keep your lover and how to maintain attraction in the relationship phase. Okay? These are desired outcomes. And my system can be duplicated. The set of rules can be duplicated to empower you in each of these stages, to re-attract an ex, to understand pickup, so that you can actually get your foot through the door with a woman. The dating stage, how to maintain dates, and you will understand that it's best to get a woman to chase you. You will understand that in the dating stage. With the dating stage, it's important that you get the woman to chase you, and that you can do by using the phone wisely, not by spending hours and hours on the phone or texting her 100 times a day with nonsensities, baby please, and you end up being friend-zoned as a result. Okay, I'm sure you can relate. You have to be economical with your use of contact with a woman, and just stick with the 3 M's, baby. Okay, the next slide, we also delve into the core process of my system. The core process, baby, please, the 3 M's again, there it is: make a date, make her laugh, make love. So essentially, when at the pickup stage, when you're trying or when you're about to initiate contact with a woman, you have to be looking for indicators of interest. By indicators of interest, we're talking about eye contact, etc., physical contact, her coming close to where you are, in the room or in the space, her messaging you first if you have an online profile. Those are high indicators of interest. So when that happens, your initial preamble is you want to make a date not in the afternoon but in the evening, so that it can lead to sex. Okay, and when you do finally meet her for the date, you're looking to make her laugh, because laughter is the way to get a woman wet and create emotional connection. Making her laugh is a way to create comfort, because if you're unable to create comfort with a woman, what happens is her anti-slut defense shield comes up, the ASD. Now, the ASD is a God-given mechanism in women. It's there to protect them from sleeping with weak men or with men that have issues genetically. That way they can weed them out of existence. So women are actually there to weed out your genetics if you're not careful, which is why you hear a lot of women talk about, I want a tall, dark, handsome guy. The point is, it's all pre-programmed into them. If women feel subconsciously that your genetics isn't good enough, they will try and weed you out of the evolutionary cycle. So, which is why creating value in your life is a great equalizer. If you're not physically at par with some of the tall, dark, handsome stereotypes that women always want to go for. Okay, so you can create an equalizer for that, which is why they also go for successful men, because that's a great equalizer. So you're making her laugh. That's the second M, and that's there to create comfort, and that helps you to short circuit her ASD, her anti-slut defense, so you can jump into the third phase, which is to make sweet love to her. And a lot of my coaching clients, I really go in a bit deeper to teach them effortless seduction techniques. A lot of guys think you need to go on 3 or 4 dates with a girl before you can seal the deal. I have a bespoke method, a bespoke technique that a lot of times can enable you to seal the deal on the very first date. Okay, I have had tremendous first date rates. I mean, for me, that is more the norm than anything. For me, it's abnormal for it not to happen on the first date. Okay, it's got nothing to being ripped. It's got nothing to do with being ripped to shreds or having the wealth of Warren Buffett, for instance. It's about technique, and a lot of my clients who work with me on the coaching process, because I offer a 6-week coaching process as well, I go deep into the effortless seduction part so that it really makes that part easy. Another part of the core process of this system, baby, is what we've touched on earlier, the 3 phases. So you begin to understand that it's actually broken down into 3 phases: the pickup, the dating, and the relationship phase. With the pickup phase, like I mentioned, you're looking for indicators of interest. If you are having an online dating profile, and that's how you're meeting your ladies, you understand how to create the profile, and you understand that you want them to really message you first, because you don't want to waste too much time on women who don't have a higher level of interest and attraction with you, because that's how you make things easy for you. So you're going to learn how to dress yourself up. If you are meeting women face to face in the real world, I work with my clients closely as well, coaching them on body posture, body language, what to say, what not to say, how to read the room, how to read women's level of attraction before approaching them, and certain things you can say to hack into their mindsets, right? So you get your leg through the door and you set a date. And then you jump into the dating stage. And we understand that really at this point, you are looking to date her or organize a date once a week. So the phone is for making dates. It's not for getting to know her. It's not for cracking jokes. And this is why, for those of you who are trying to reattract an ex, this is very important. This is why it's not worth blowing up her phone, begging, etc. Because even if it does work and she shows some mercy and comes back to you, it's temporal, because you've already sold yourself out. You've acted like a bitch blowing up her phone. You're not her emotional tampon. That's why you don't blow up a girl's phone. That's why you don't chase her. Women are looking for value. They're looking for a man with a masculine core. They're looking for a man who understands what attraction is about. And when you're blowing up a woman's phone, when you're chasing her, she knows immediately that you have no clue about how attraction works. So even if she comes back to you, it is going to be temporal, guys. It certainly will be, and you're going to break up again. You don't want a temporal fix. That's why you're here. With my system, you understand this perfectly. It becomes a mindset shift. It becomes an energetic shift for you. You begin to understand that you reach out to her once a week until she starts reaching out to you. And each time you reach out to one another, you're setting a definite date for a definite time for a definite place. You're getting off the damn phone and you're going out and you're pursuing your purpose. You're following your passion. And you're given a time and space to wonder about the date, to wonder about you. And in so doing, her attraction is rising steadily so that when she does meet you, she cannot wait to tear your clothes off. This is how it works, guys. And this is why you also want to circulate with 3 to 5 to 10 chicks at the dating phase, because that creates an abundance mindset to you. So that if by any chance one flakes or one drops off the radar, you don't get unglued and start chasing. Why should you? When you got 4, 5, 6 to 10 other chicks wanting to fuck your brains out. So you've got the mindset, you've got the abundance mindset that is required to succeed with women. Okay, so the dating phase, you're setting a date once a week, and you're using the phone to set that date, not to get to know her. When you do meet her for the date, you are essentially allowing her to do 70 to 80% of the talking, and in so doing, you're maintaining mystery with yourself. So, for instance, you're making her laugh by asking questions, and essentially you're moving things to the bedroom swiftly, which is why you're not doing day dates, tea dates, lunch dates, etc. You're treating her like a lover straight out the bat. You're circulating with a number of women so that you have an abundance mindset and you don't get unglued. And of course, you're not blowing up her phone or chasing her like a beta male. And we go into the relationship phase. That's the third phase in the core process, baby please, of this system. You never stop dating your woman. You always keep reading her level of attraction, which always fluctuates, as you know. So when you stop dating your woman, another man will. So you're keeping things spontaneous. And I work with a lot of guys who are married, and I help them to bring back the energy, the vigor back into their relationships. You know, helping them to get back to their masculine core. Okay, helping them to make their wives, their partners fall back in love with them. That is what I do, and I love my job. I absolutely love my job. I'm passionate about what I do. So whether you're attracting an ex or whether you're trying to make your wife, your partner fall back in love with you, the principle stays the same. If a woman unilaterally tells you that she wants to break up with you, or she wants to change the terms of the relationship, she wants it to become platonic, she thinks you need a break, etc., etc., what you're doing at that stage is to tell her that, sweetheart, I adore you. I think you're wonderful. I can't just be friends with you, because each time I see you, I will want to tear your clothes off in case you make love to you. I cannot be platonic with you. After all, that's not what I want. That's not what I need. And how can I go on to find the next great love of my life when we're just friends? It doesn't work for me. I adore you. I like to make things work with you. If you're moving on with some other bloke, I wish you all the best. But, if you change your mind, give me a call. And then you walk away and you don't look back. And that's what your response must be anytime a woman bluffs you or tries to change the terms of your reaction, because that's the ultimate test. A woman breaking up with you or attempting to break up with you is the ultimate test of your masculinity. It's because you've been acting like a bitch. So she's trying to test to see if there's any man left in that shell. And when you start blowing up her phone, chasing her, begging her, sending flowers like Hollywood tells you should, and sending chocolates and all of that stuff, you know it doesn't work. And if it does, it's very short term. Because essentially, chasing is a feminine trait. Men are imbued with purpose, baby. And that's what attracts women to them. That it's about your vibe with women. It's about your vibe. It's about your vibe. And all the things that we bring into our lives as men, wealth, success, fame, etc., is so that we can have a vibe about us. So I don't care how many millions of dollars you have in your bank. I don't care how famous you are if you haven't got the vibe. Baby, we got the vibe. If you haven't got that vibe, then I can assure you that women will just play you. They will. And they'll go off and fuck the bad boy who doesn't have a dollar to rub together. Because he's got that vibe. Either because he's naturally born with it or he just knows something you don't. I'm telling you this is the case. This is why a lot of my clients, my coaching clients, some of them are exceptionally successful captains of industry in their own fields, but yet they don't have that success with women. And that lack of success ends today. Say to yourself, it ends today, because you might be successful in other areas of your life, but if there's a little nag in another area, you just feel incomplete. You just want everything to work, and that's why you're here today. So to reattract the next, for those of you who are here and your ears are itching regarding that, it's very simple. You need to walk away. And a lot of people say, you walk away for 21 days, 30 days, and then you start chasing her again. That's bullshit. I smell bullshit, because the point is that she's bluffing you by breaking up with you. And let me ask you a question. How do you think a woman's going to feel if she's broken up with you and she's probably playing the field and she's fucking some other guy, and just after doing that, she picks up her phone and she's got some silly poem or some message, or she's got some flowers from you? She's going to think you're weak as anything. So this is why you walk away. You walk away. That's your strongest negotiating position, and you go and you play with other girls, you play with other women, hook up with other women, work with my stuff, get coaching from me so you become good and you learn from your mistakes, and give her time and space. Now, if she still has attraction for you at some stage, women are curious, they're like cats, she will wonder about you, and then she picks up the phone and she might say, what is he up to? Let me give him a call. So you wait. With women, patience pays. A great guy once said that to me. With women, patience pays. So you have to wait it out. You're not calling her. Stop texting this woman if you're broken up with her. Stop pleading and stop acting the fool. Okay? Go and improve yourself. Go and bang other chicks. Go and get coaching with me. Work with me. Get yourself to the level of being an apex man. She will sense the change. She'll wonder why you stopped chasing, why you stopped acting the fool. And then if she still has attraction for you, she will reach out. And when she does, you use the 3 M's, which is make a date. When she shows up, you're not talking about relationships with her. You make her laugh. And you make love. That's the natural transition. Let labels or creating labels be brought up by the woman. Let the idea of exclusivity, being a girlfriend, boyfriend, all of that stuff, let it be brought up by the woman. Because you are so busy with your purpose, you're just rinsing and repeating the 3 M's. That's all you're doing. Anytime you depart from the 3 M's, which is making a date, making her laugh, and making love, you're going to run into problems, period. The final core process of this system is to become the apex man. So when you've mastered all these techniques, you've mastered this mindset, you become a master with women, you become a master with relationships, and most importantly, you become a master of your own self. And like I said, baby, only 1 to 3% of guys know this stuff. And to be honest with you, I really want to keep it that way. Now we're going to jump into the next slide. We're going to talk about the rules of attraction. So I'm going to go in a bit deeper to deliver some value for you guys, okay? And we're going to talk about what I did wrong. I'm sure what a lot of you did wrong as well. Okay, we talked about the over texting, the over calling. That's a big no-no. I'm not going to overflog that. By now, you should know that blowing up a woman's phone to create rapport doesn't work. More often than not, you might say something that just turns her off and you don't understand why. And of course, women get bored super easily. You need to realize this about them. They get bored so easily and they're looking for validation all the time. So I don't care how good looking or wealthy you are. If a woman feels that she's got you and that you've validated her, she will get bored. Unless, of course, she's just after your money or something about you, which is not really what you want. You want her to want you for you. You want her to love you and be head over heels in love with you, even if you didn't have a penny. That's really where the sweet spot is. So this goes doubly for a lot of my clients who are exceedingly wealthy. They at some point realize that they are not having the satisfaction in the relationship that they really want, because deep down they feel that if they were to lose all their assets, that woman wouldn't be there. And that's because they have not created that attraction outside of the things they do for her. What I did wrong was I was spending countless hours texting. Sometimes I would be on the phone for 4 hours chatting to a girl. How stupid. This is time that I would have been using to work on other areas of my life, be in the gym, chill out with my friends, pursue my passion, learn a guitar. Yes, you do spend time with a woman, but it has to be face to face, baby. It has to be face to face. Use the phone. Use your DMs, use your emails specifically to say, hi, nice to hear from you. That's when she reaches out. Wow, what are you doing? When are you free? I would love us to get together. She'll come back to you with when she's free. And then obviously you set the date and you get off the damn phone. So, I didn't understand that at that time. I'd spend time, hours texting, sending jokes, talking about what I liked about music, what I watched, what I did, what I ate, all of that nonsense. Save that for when you are with her face to face. An approval seeking and validating women will get you into trouble quicker than anything I know. By validation, I mean constantly trying to get her to like you or trying to get her to validate your identity. We Apex, man, we don't need anyone to validate our identity. We don't need anybody to tell us we're good enough. We don't need anybody to make us feel good. We don't need anybody to blow sunshine up our asses. We are the ones that validate you. You don't validate us. Because when you give a woman too much validation, she will know she's got you suckered, she's got you booty whipped, and she'll go on to the next guy to get validation. Because why do you think women put on that war paint? Why do you think they put on all those beautiful clothes? Because they are seeking validation from men, and they collect it like little trophies. When they get your validation, they say, yes, I've conquered him, I go on to the next guy. So never give a woman validation. Treat her good, treat her like a princess, but she must know in her core that she doesn't have you. That is what creates the sense of the chase. And that brings us to another thing I did wrong, and which I'm sure a lot of you blokes do wrong, which is chasing women. Do not have to be chased. And better males, Hollywood, society has programmed us that you keep chasing women. In fact, there's this great book written years ago, I think it's something to do with Venus and Mars. I can't remember what it was called, but to me it was a pile of shit. Basically telling men to chase women, and that's what fosters attraction. Those of you who've tried that, you realize that number one, you're spending too much time chasing after one woman, that you suddenly go from a bloke that's got time for his friends, has got time for his business, his passions, to only focusing on one woman. Is that what you want? And to be honest with you, if you are cycling multiple women, which you should be doing at the dating phase, you will be spending too much time and too much money if you were chasing all of them. It's just not practical, and it doesn't bloody work. This dude made millions of dollars from that snake oil he sold. I read that book, and back then I was naive. It's complete rubbish. When you work with me, when I work with my coaching clients, I teach them the subtle way of actually making women to chase. Women are begging to chase you. They love it. To them is a gift. Give them the gift of chasing you. Give them the gift of chasing you. So that's what I did wrong. And that's what a lot of you are doing wrong. You're breaking the rules of attraction. And we skip straight to what I started doing right. When I did intensive research to turn my life around and to come up with this system, I realized that you have to follow the attraction. You have to follow the woman's level of attraction. So women who already have higher levels of interest and attraction with you are the women you need to give your time, money, or attention to. So, dating can be pricey. Why would I want to go on a date with a woman who has mediocre interest or attraction with me and she just bores me to death? Why should I do that? So you have to pre-select women. You have to you have to pre-qualify women. Enough of women doing the pre-selection and the pre-qualification. You have to have that abundance mindset in which you have a set of attributes, pros and cons that you absolutely cannot deal with in a woman, or that you are looking for in a woman. So when you don't see those traits that you want, you say no, next. I mean, we got billions of them. So you have to have that mindset. Follow the attraction. Only invest your time and your energy and attention to women who already have a certain level of a high attraction for you anyway, so you can build up from there with them. It makes life easier. You get spoiled with them that way. I learned that. That's why I started doing right as well. And as you work with me, for those of you who eventually work with me closer, one-to-one, you'll find out ways to also increase how many women that are highly attracted to you. Because like I said, it's all about your vibe. Another thing I started doing right, and what you must immediately start implementing in your life, is the 3 M's, which is stick to the rinse and repeat process of making a date, making her laugh, making love. You don't have to be there and tell her all about your achievements on a date and brag and make a lot of noise about yourself, because you are essentially killing your mystery when you do that. Women want a love story. They don't want you to come and tell them the end of the story at the beginning and be a spoiler. They don't want spoiler alerts, which is why you let them do most of the talking by asking intelligent questions and cracking jokes. And I tell you this, that you have to be charming. And I work with people to teach them certain gambits to use. Essentially, with women love to talk anyway. So when you ask the right questions and you hang back and you stay mysterious to a certain level, and you learn how to control the frame, your dates just go smoothly. And so you have to rinse and repeat the 3 M's. So you're dating her every week until she starts reaching out to you, and until she starts wanting exclusivity, until she starts bringing it up, at which stage you need to decide if that's what you want. If that's what you want, you can then move on to the relationship phase. And don't forget, having options is so important in having an abundance mindset. So in the dating stage, I really recommend that you're cycling a number of women in the first place, so that you have an abundance mindset. This is what I started doing right. I wasn't bogged down with one girl. In that way, if she was acting the fool, I had options with other girls. So, she'd learn that I wasn't booty whipped by her, and that immediately brought her in line. And if you don't want to play, out you go. That became my mindset, and it works a charm. It also gives you time when women are chasing you to focus on your purpose, because when you focus on your purpose and your passion, and I also coach guys on how to discover their passion for those who are not in the center of their passion, and I leave this with you. Your passion is that thing you would do for free. But of course, you finally figured out how to monetize it, but you would have done it for free anyway. That's your core passion. So when you focus on your purpose and your passion, you begin to vibe in such a way. That becomes incredibly attractive to women. So these are the things I started doing right, and these are the things I'm going to teach you. For those of you who work closer with me, these are the things you need to imbue in your life as well. And finally, this leads to a transformation, because eventually, as they say, repetition is a mother of mastery. When you keep doing these things, your masculine core becomes stronger, and eventually you become the apex man. That's a phrase I've coined, and I love it a lot, because it's basically saying you're the elite of the elite. Not only have you got mastery with women, and like I always say, he who has a mastery of women and relationship cannot help but have mastery of self. So this is so important. I hope you've got some value out of that, because for attracting an ex, it's about walking away after you've told her what it is you want, not allowing yourself to be in a friend zone situation with a woman, not chasing or blowing up her phone, giving her time and space while you recuperate and get your energy back and recalibrated. Eventually, she comes back, because women bluff to test your strength anyway, and going about and dating other girls. It's as simple as that. Anybody who tells you different is just trying to fleece you. Simple. Period. Now, shall we proceed, baby, please? And we're going to look at some case studies. Really, I've worked with hundreds of people. I've just selected a few of them There's a chap, Richie. Essentially, Richie was having a bad time with a breakup. He is a classic beta male. He did everything you can imagine wrong under the book, spending hours texting a girl. Essentially, there was no mystery. Emotional diarrhea, always telling how much he loved, how much he couldn't do without her, etc., thinking that this was fostering attraction, but really he was just turning her off. Eventually, she felt he wasn't strong enough, and she broke up with his ass. And basically, he continued to chase and pursue and stalk her, etc., until he came upon my work. And like I said, I do provide a 6-week coaching package. I'll be going a bit deeper into that for some of you guys. This might just be what you need. Really, 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 really. With Richie, I started working closely with him by Skype phone sessions over a period of 6 weeks. Really working with him to get these principles, get those bad habits off. Identify what he was doing wrong and switched it to what he needed to do right until he got a transformation. Worked with him, really got in, and he's such a good student. Eventually, he applied all of these rules, and within 3 months, he had his ex-girlfriend back. In fact, she was the one chasing him because now he had loads of options. So, he says there, I went from broken up to her chasing me. How beautiful does that sound? For those of you going through a breakup, can you imagine what it would be like for that girl who's blowing you off, who's ignoring your text messages, who's probably out banging other guys while you're there, heartbroken over her? Can you imagine what it would be like, how it would feel for her to actually be the one now chasing you because you're doing the right things? So Richie, really proud of him. He really turned it round. And then there is Paul. I worked with Paul. Paul's been married for 10 years. He's South African, really lovely man. He works in the film industry, a wonderful man. Essentially, they were on the verge of a divorce because, he just stopped dating his wife. He became complacent, which a lot of you married guys or guys in long-term relationships are guilty of. And like I always say, if you ain't dating your wife or your partner, someone else, some other dude will, eventually. So, there were kids involved. They were together because of the kids, which I always advocate isn't the real solution. Because you really don't want your kids or etc. to be in that kind of environment, because he teaches them bad relationship techniques, and it's just not good for everybody. It's not healthy. So when he chanced upon my work, I worked with him for 6 weeks. We went through that 6-week coaching process. He got the package and we really worked together. We had our phone sessions, email sessions. I really worked with him on a bespoke level. And he started applying the techniques. He started dating his wife again, using the 3 M's, becoming mysterious, because the mystery had left the relationship, the marriage. He just started jazzing it all up again. And, he says something here. This is a bit of a testimonial from Paul. He's a wonderful fellow. He's actually become a bit of a friend to me. I love that man. And he says, Ike's coaching has turned my marriage around. We were close to a divorce. Now, it's interesting how some guys, they don't want to invest in themselves with coaching. They don't want to invest in themselves with online courses. They don't want to invest in themselves in understanding these things, but they can invest thousands on divorce lawyers. They can spend, and divorce can be incredibly bitter, incredibly ugly, incredibly expensive. In fact, it can destroy a life. So, these are the things you have to really take care of in your life. Paul is a shining example of a man who's taking control of his life. He said, no, I don't want to end up this way. I actually still love this woman. And, I just don't understand what's going on. The traditional marriage counselors, they were just blowing sunshine up their asses because they don't even understand attraction, do they? So I worked with this guy, and his wife's falling back in love with him. Beautiful picture he sent me. She's got her man back. She's got her rock back. He's happy being a man again. He's no longer the woman in the relationship. It's so beautiful to see it. I love my job. It gives me so much passion. It makes my eyes light up when I can work with people, when I can see the change with people who implement my system. And you will be one of them. You will be. It's your time. It's your turn. I'm giving you this gift of this understanding. And I tell you what, Paul didn't look back. Adam is another guy, is an English guy, he's from England. And he says, I used to be that guy that women would not give the time of day. He was one of those late bloomers, if you will. He just didn't have a clue, really. I don't know. He just didn't have a clue. He just did everything wrong. He was a bit quirky. Always said the wrong things. His sexual innuendo was just awful. He had that stalkerish thing about him. He didn't understand what attraction was, really. And he kept faltering in relationships. And he had been single 7 years. Successful dude, investment banker, but seriously. Seriously, dude. Blue balls every day. Come on. He found my work through word of mouth, and really we just blended together. He's a lovely fella. He took on this principle really quickly, worked with him. Again, he's one of the clients who I've worked with for the 6 weeks coaching package. And he understood the game. He clicked with him quite early. He clicked with Adam quite early. And he really, he couldn't believe how simple it was. He couldn't believe how simple it was, because a lot of these things are hidden in plain sight. And I worked with him, and he began to understand how to be masculine, how to seek women with high attraction to start with, and how to build from that, how to date women, how to stay off the bloody phone, the do's and don'ts, the 10 commandments for women, the fundamentals, principles of attraction. He really was a good student. And as you can see, he's got his beautiful girlfriend there with him. She's lovely. Actually, he's spoken to her as well. It's just wonderful to see the transformation in his life. It's wonderful to see the transformation in people's lives. It is amazing. He's a great success story. As is Jack, who is a French dude, young model I worked with as well. And he was broken up with his girlfriend at the time. They're still together. He made the classic mistake of, blowing up her phone, sending flowers because he thought he was in a Hollywood flick, stunning up at her house, etc., etc., etc. I worked with him by coaching, and he's come back. I was able to get my ex back, and I'll never make the same mistakes again. Because like I say, it's one thing to get your ex back, but if you keep making the same mistakes that led to the breakup, there's no point. There's no point. So Jack is a great success story, wonderful lad. And like I said, I got hundreds of case studies, and I'm actually looking for more at this stage. I get incredible pleasure, and it just fulfills me to be able to help people like yourselves. Either you're having an issue with a breakup, you're having an issue with your marriage, you're having an issue getting a girlfriend or a partner, whatever, or you just want an understanding of relationships, because that's the only area in your life that you just need fixing, and you don't just want to keep throwing money at women and hoping for the best. So you really want an understanding. I'm looking for more case studies, and that leads me into the next slide. Baby, please, shall we proceed? I've got two packages at the moment. One of them is a 6 weeks coaching package, and essentially over that period, in which is broken down in 6 weeks, we'll be having regular phone, hour-long Skype phone conversations as part of the coaching, in which we're able to deal with your own specific situation, your own specific case, or where your learning curve needs a bit of help. And we'll be delving into the pickup phase deeply. We'll be delving into the dating phase during the coaching process, into the relationship phase, and we'll also be talking about self-fulfillment, because you need to be fulfilled yourself. Women need to get that vibe of you. Certain things you need to do on an emotional and mental level to facilitate the right vibe for attracting women. So the takeaways with that one is becoming an apex man, becoming one of those rare breed of men that understand women. And you need to realize that you're here in this webinar, you're here in this situation because you have been doing the wrong things. You either been blowing up a phone, you've not understood attraction, you've been allowing yourself to be friend zoned, you've not been exhibiting your masculine core, you've not been dating her properly, you've been talking her out of sleeping with you or liking you. There's just this vibe that is just not working with women. You've just been messing this up. That's why you're here. So if you want the kind of help that some of my clients from the last slide has had, this is your time. If you want that kind of result, if you want to be able to save your marriage, get your ex back, if you really want me to work with you on a more customized level in which I'm working with your own specific situation, this is the time. Okay? The 6 weeks coaching process. You become an apex man. You understand how attraction works. You will understand how women work. You will understand what your role as a masculine man is. You'll also learn how to enjoy choice and fulfillment in relating with women. You will also understand the do's and don'ts. So at the end of the coaching process, you will come away with that 360 understanding. Your life will never be the same. Okay, you'll be one of those success stories because, like I say, I'm looking for more case studies. I am indeed. And yes, we have limited seats for our 6 weeks coaching package because I'll tell you this: 1 out of 100 men, so that's less than 3 men in 100, truly understand what women want and respond to, and that's for a good reason. And to be honest, I would like to keep it that way because the information, the training, a grasp of this technique has to remain rare. It has to remain within the inner caucus, if you like. Okay, so, and of course, I am always booked out at least 2 weeks in advance. So they are limited seats, guys. So if you're interested in the 6 weeks coaching package, which essentially means throughout that period, you'll be having one-to-one Skype intervention with myself, Ike Star, where I really help to drill in these techniques and these processes, baby please. And I will be working very closely with you. And of course, we customize that service so that you can come with me or come to me with your own particular needs, with your own particular issues, with your own particular challenges, be it with reattracting an ex, be it in regards to a relationship that is faltering, be it to personal development as a whole. We can then tailor the coaching specifically to you. So the 6 weeks coaching will obviously include at least an hour a week of consultation with myself via Skype or phone call. And we're really going to get to the meat and bones of the issues you are personally facing and resolve it so that we can give you the kind of results some of my clients that you just saw in the last slide have been able to achieve. So, of course, the 3 big desires for most of my clients is, number one, you're here. You're in a place where things aren't going exactly where you want it to go. You're in a state of confusion and pain in regards to your relationship. And you need to transit. You need to evolve. It's time for you to evolve. It's time for you to get a mastery of these issues once and for all. It's time for you to actually sort out this part of your life. Okay, because life is about evolution. It's about emotional evolution. So if you want the kind of help and the kind of results that you just saw with the case studies, then the 6 week coaching package is for you. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm doing. We've got an online course as well called the Mastering Relationships course, which is a complete training for men. This is an online course that I put together. It's a compendium of all the information, all the processes, baby please, all the techniques, in a very tight, high value, high octane online course. It contains modules that are packed to the brim with information, with value. Okay, so for those of you who choose to take the 6 weeks coaching package, you will also have access to this Mastering Relationships online course. So what you've received today in this webinar is only a fragment, is only a fraction of what's in that course. Okay, so this course will change your life. It will take you to a point of mastery, no doubt about it, 100% guarantee. Okay, so if you're here because you're trying to get an X-Pack, or if you're here because you want to find someone infinitely better, if you're here because you want to get a grip and understanding of relationships and of yourself, then this course is definitely for you. And I bundle it with my coaching package, because I'm good like that. I'm kind of nice like that. Okay, so I'm going to jump straight into an overview of what this online course entails in terms of its modules, because it comes in the form of video modules. Now, we're going to be talking about, obviously, the initial introduction. That's the very first aspect of the course, where we really get into creating a framework of what we're going to be achieving in the course itself. Then we're going to jump into an understanding of what the apex man is. And as I explained earlier, the apex man constitutes less than 3% of all men. The apex man is a man who has mastery of himself, who has a mastery of women, who has a mastery and understanding of the 3 phases of interaction with women, who understands the do's and don'ts, the principles, the commandments, the rules of engagement when in regards to women. And really, that is the aim of the online course itself. Okay? To bring you to a point in which you are an apex man. And like I said, I'm not in a hurry to put this power into the hands of many people. And I'll explain to you why. I'm not in the business of helping losers. And you're not a loser. Because it's impossible to teach a chicken how to fly, but you can teach an eagle how to soar even higher. So we're weeding out a lot of people who shouldn't have access to this information. This is for a select few, and that's why there are limited seats, and that's why this offer ends with this webinar. So as we begin to wrap up this webinar, those who really believe in themselves, who really want to give themselves this gift, it's time for you to begin to take action. The next module is Reattracting Your Ex, where we go really deep into the rules and the do's and don'ts when it comes to trying to reattract your ex. Now, if for whatever reason you want her back, you can absolutely have her back, but you have to stop making the mistakes that you have been making that have been driving her away. Simple as that. So in regards to that, we'll be talking about the 3 deadly mistakes to avoid after a breakup. The part 2 of that particular module is what to do if your ex is seeing someone else. So if she's kind of moved on, she's banging some other dude, that's breaking your heart, and you're thinking all hope is lost, that particular module is going to teach you techniques on what to do in that regards. Because believe it or not, if your ex jumps into a relationship with another dude straight after breaking up with you, it's actually good news, and you're going to find out why and how to use that to your advantage. Okay? It's emotional jiu-jitsu, baby. We'll also be discussing in another module, escaping the friend zone trap. We touched on that earlier. So what to do when a lady unilaterally tries to change the foundations, the basis of your relationship, what to say to her. We'll be talking about the Hollywood delusion, which really is self-explanatory. A lot of people, they go into this relationship game based on what they learned from television, from reading romance novels, or what their friends have done, and all of that. And they soon find out none of this shit works. So we'll be dissecting the Hollywood delusion for what it is, a delusion, and giving you the right techniques, the real-world techniques that actually work with women. We'll also be jumping in and discussing in a 2-part module things you do to get rejected by women, and I call this "Do This and Get Rejected by Women." And I was guilty of a lot of these better moves back in the day before I got this principle on fleek. So these are the things to avoid, and these are the things you've been doing that's been bringing about rejection in your life. So you don't want rejection anymore. You want freedom. You want acceptance. You want to be celebrated by women. And so you're going to learn in that module the things that you've been doing wrong. Okay, we also jump in and we get a bit more granular in the next module, where we talk about the effects of excessive calling and texting of a woman, and how best to handle women when it comes to phone, DMs, and communicating with them using technology. Okay, so these things aren't super advanced. I break it down in a way that you can really grasp it in this online course. And of course, with the coaching package, which comes bundled with this, if you have any questions or anything specific to yourself, to tailor it to your own specific situation, then of course, that's why I'm here. And that's what the coaching aspect of the package is for. Okay, guys? So these are things that you yourself can achieve, that you can move from zero to hero with women. I can guarantee you that I was able to do it. It hurt. It took me hours, thousands of hours of study, of trial and error, of pain, of rejection to get to this point. You don't have to go through thousands of hours. You don't have to waste your time and money. You don't have to go through all of that pain, because I've been there for you, and I now have everything in a tight little package for you. Okay, so here we go. The next part of the course, we speak about the 3 love phases, which we've already touched on. The pickup phase, the dating and relationship phase. We dissect the peculiar aspects of each phase, because a lot of guys just think you meet up with a girl or, and that's it. It's one big phase. No, there are 3 phases, and unless you break it down and understand the peculiarities of each phase, you're going to make mistakes. So we dissect that. Okay. Now we jump in again for those who are trying to reattract an ex. We talk about advanced principles for reattracting an ex. I won't go too much into that. You have to jump into the course itself. You're going to see you get incredible value from that. We'll talk about what to do when she backs away. The mystery of the no contact rule, which a lot of people misuse because they don't really understand what that concept is about. And then another incredible module is effortless seduction. So we break down how to really seduce women almost with clockwork precision. A lot of people spend 3 to 4 dates to finally seal a deal with a new girl. With some of these techniques from this module, you'll be able to seal the deal in 1 date. I guarantee you that. You don't have to look like Brad Pitt. Okay. When I got this on Fleek, I had a very high 1-date seduction rate. Very, very high. Very, very high. In fact, when you follow these rules properly, it would be abnormal for you not to be able to seal the deal on the first date. I'm telling you this now. Anybody who tells you need to see a girl 3 to 4 separate dates or to seal the deal, you're wasting, they're trying to waste your time, or something's wrong. Okay, so the principles of effortless seduction has a very, very powerful module. That module alone is worth the cost of the entire package. I can tell you that. It's a really powerful module. So we talk about how to pre-select and court women properly, and that's really part of the pickup phase. We talk about the things you have to look for, the level of attraction gauge before you even approach a woman. We talk about how you need to know what you want in a woman. There are a lot of practical exercises in regards to that, because a lot of guys, they approach women with this shotgun approach, anything goes, or they just have it in the back of their head what they think they're attracted to, and then halfway through the interaction, they discover really this girl's just not it. And a lot of guys as well, they don't have enough value in themselves to actually select women, and they let women do all the pre-selection. Really? That's not how it works. You have the God-given right to choose what kind of woman you invest your valuable time, money, and attention to. So that module on how to pre-select and court women is extremely crucial. Then we jump in the next module, and we talk about approaching women the right way. There is a right and there's a wrong way to approaching women. So we'll be dissecting that one. And I'll be honest with you, At this point, the course gets really, really, really hot, really interesting. We talk about how to date women effectively in the next module. When to call, when not to call, how to implement the 3 M's, which is the make her date, make her laugh, make love protocol, which is extremely effective. And really, if you're doing anything outside of that, you're going to get into trouble. So we're really going to drill in and get that one locked down. We also talk about navigating the relationship phase. Okay, so for you married guys or you guys in long-term relationships with the relationship faltering or whatnot, this is for you. And of course, for those of you who want to move to that phase, you've got to understand how this works, because you can't stop dating your woman. You can't start being complacent. You can't stop gauging her level of attraction. I mean, this is why people talk about the 2-year hitch or whatever. So you really want to understand how this works, okay? And of course, with the relationship phase, you also need to understand that the attraction level of women goes up and down. You need to understand how this works. And this is stuff that you can do. These are things that you can put into your life straight away. This isn't for the gurus alone. This is for you. I'm telling you, if I was able to get to this level of understanding, to put this package together, so can you. And I'm telling you, by the end of this the online course itself, which I'll be introducing a bit more in the next slide, you will master this. And we jump into another incredible module, what women really want. Wow. I mean, that module alone is everything. It just distills everything, crystallizes the information so that it's right there in front of you and you know exactly what's going on in the minds of women and how they are emotionally wired and how a lot of things with them is backwards and counterintuitive. We really go into that. We really break that down. Okay, so we talk about the fundamental relationship principles and we talk about the 10 commandments of women. So as you can see, the mastering course, mastering relationship course, the complete training for men is completely packed solid. And like I say, I bundle this with one-to-one coaching as well. So in that way, we can actually tailor the training to your own specific situation, which is very important, because what I offer is a bespoke service, a bespoke training, bespoke coaching package, because we really, really, really care about your success. I really do indeed. I don't want you to go through the BS that I went through when everything can be at your fingertips. So now we go into the actual package itself. Now with the Mastering Relationship online course, I bundle it with a phone session, a Skype session, if you will, an hour-long session in which really I'm getting to know your peculiar situation, your peculiar circumstance, getting to know you as well, so I can tailor the training and the coaching to your particular need. And this training, historically, I've been selling this package for just under $3,000. $2,997. But at the moment, I'm looking for more case studies. I'm looking to buffer up the number of case studies I have as well. So till the end of this webinar, I am taking off $2,000 off the package price. I mean, that is ridiculous. Take a moment to appreciate that. Got it? So the package, again, just in case you missed it, includes the online training course, which we just ran through the modules, and the modules are packed solid with value, packed solid with information, packed solid with transformative essence that will take you from where you are to mastery. Get rid of that pain, get rid of that confusion, get rid of that heartache. It can save you thousands of hours. Not just in time, but also in dollars, because, if you don't understand this, you're wasting money dating women you shouldn't be dating. You're wasting money with divorce proceedings, alimony, broken homes. And this is because you don't know this stuff. You don't know what you don't know. So with this particular package, we're offering you access to the online training as well. So I know this webinar, as I said, only just touches the tip of the iceberg on what's actually in the online course itself. Okay, so we are bundling that online course with an hour of Skype coaching from myself, from yours sincerely. And like I said, I'm normally booked up at least 2 weeks in advance. So if I'm offering this up now, you need to snatch this up. This is a one-time offer. This is a limited time offer. I'm only looking for a select amount of people. I don't take on everyone. Really, I don't, because I want results, not just for you, but for myself, because I'm putting my name on this. Okay, so we're slashing the price till the end of this webinar. From $2,997, so that's $2,997. I'm giving you a $2,000 discount, so you can get my undivided attention to look into your situation during that 1 hour Skype session, which of course you can break into two if that's preferable. And you're getting access to the online training, the Mastering Relationships course, complete training for men. So we're bundling those together for only $997, folks. I'm telling you, this is easy. This is a no-brainer. This is the easiest decision you've ever made in your life. Give yourself this gift, guys. Come in and join us there. There are only limited seats available. We're not going to be taking too many people, and this is a time-sensitive offer. So essentially, when this webinar ends, this service goes back to $2,997, guaranteed. At the end of this webinar, when you find me again, the price will have gone straight up. Okay, and even with the price going up, you might not be guaranteed a seat. I'm telling you, because it is typically sold out quite quickly. So this is the time for you to make provisions, take action, clear your calendar for this. Okay. So this is for you. Like I said, limited seats, and it's a time-sensitive offer. So what you need to do now is, if you look to the right or left of your screen, there will be an add to cart prompt. So what you need to do is jump straight in there and add this package. Take your seat now. Seize your seat now before somebody else does. Right? I can see John's already in there. Thank you, John. No wasting time, are you? We've got Mark from the UK. He's already in the cart. So, guys, go to the add to cart link. You should see that on your screen. Yeah, there are actually two packages there. What I've done is this: the standard package gives you both packages will give you access to the online course. So I bundled the online course regardless, because I think that's the meat and bones of this process. Okay, that gives you the principles that you can refer to in the form of modules, videos. So these are high quality videos with all the processes, all the techniques, all the principles, all the do's and don'ts, all of that good stuff bundled into videos that you can now listen to over and over again until you have it locked down. The first particular module, the particular package, entitles you to an hour side-by-side coaching with me by Skype, okay, where we can tailor the training to your particular circumstance, and where I can answer questions specific to your situation as well, be it reattracting an ex, be it trying to save a marriage, be it just getting your game up. So choose the package you want. We also have the 6-week package, which is an upsell. I'll tell you that it's an upsell. It comes bundled with the training as well, but it's extended, because now I work with you for 6 weeks to really drill this in. So for those of you who want to really just blow this out of the water, you might consider that particular package. It's very popular, and the case studies we did go through, a lot of them were on that particular package. So go straight and click the add to cart button. Okay, that will take you to a place where you can actually now purchase the material. Okay, and you also once you purchase it, we will send you an email where you'll be able to download or access the course itself. In the email as well, you'll be able to book your seat for my Skype training as well. So there you can see my diary, and you can sync it with yours, and then we can come to a position in which we choose a time slot for you. So as I say, these time slots are filling up. Thank you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's already in there. So guys, don't waste any time with this. Go to the add to cart button. You can pay. It's all secure, all secure payments there. Okay. We accept direct. We accept debit cards, credit cards. You can pay with PayPal. It's all secure. Add to cart now. Don't waste any time with this, because as I say, at the end of this webinar, the price goes back up. So from $997, it goes back up to $2,997. And I'm not sure when I'm going to have a promo like this again. So as I say, the reason why I'm doing this is because we need more case studies. We also want to really introduce and drive this home and do a good deed. Okay? We need more case studies. That's why we got that price slashed temporarily till the end of this webinar. And of course, like I said, there are limited seats. Okay? Thank you, Timothy. Timothy's in there now. Yeah, add to cart. So you go look for the link wherever it is on your screen and click add to cart. Okay, so that will take you through the process of registering and paying and purchasing the actual course. Okay, afterwards you get an email straight away. It's all secure, by the way. You get an email straight away, and that gives you your login details to the actual course. It also enables you to have access to my diary so that you can book your seats. So if you choose the one-off 1 hour package, that's fine. But for those of you who really want to kill this, who really want to take it to the next level, who just, you just want to crush it, you want to work with me for 6 weeks, I will hold you by the hand. I will work with you for the next 6 weeks, and we'll break that down. We'll break down your issues, because sometimes you need time to drill these things in. You need time to become a master. You need time to get rid of the issues, to really get this locked down. So for those of you who want to do that, go ahead. You can choose the package that suits you. Okay. Either way, click the add to cart button now. As I say, the pricing will change by the end of this webinar, and we're really beginning to wind down at this stage, so take advantage. It's the Mastering Relationships course. So we've bundled the coaching package plus the online course for you, so they go hand in hand. I'm not faceless. I like to work with you guys one-on-one. That's my joy. That's my calling. I've come to the point in which I actually absolutely love what I do. I will do it for free. That's how much I love this stuff. However, for you, the value comes in you putting your hand in your pocket and paying. So go there and do that. Okay? Click the add to cart button. This is my life's calling. I absolutely love it. I love working and talking with you guys. I love helping men achieve the best level of understanding in relationships that they possibly can. For me, it's been a lifelong journey, and I want to share it with you. So click the add to cart button. Elliot, excellent. Elliot's in there as well. Like I said, we've got limited seats. And once it's filled up, once my diary is filled up, I won't be able to accept any more people. Sorry, I won't. And like I said, at the end of the webinar, the price goes back up. So this is your time, guys. Okay. And we're going to jump into the Q&A session really quickly, where I'm going to be answering a couple of questions. Okay, I know I'm going to get a flurry of questions. My moderator's already beginning to get ready. So if you have any questions at all, this is the time for you to just send some of them in. Like I said, I might not be able to answer all of them, but I'll answer as many as I can. So we're going to jump straight into the Q&A session as we begin to round up the webinar. Guys, jump in now and click and secure your seats, guys. Okay? So we're going to jump straight into Q&A. And where are we? What's the first question? The first question is coming from... it's coming from Mark. Mark's from Canada. Hello, Mark. And the question is, okay, can I pay in installments? Right. When it comes to installmental payments, at the moment, because it's on a deal, I've actually brought the price down from from its original price of $2,997 to $997. So no, we can be taking installments at that price plan. Okay. So the answer to that would be no, because I have slashed the price down. However, be aware that the seats do fill out really quickly, so take advantage of it right now, Mark. Okay. What else? We got another question. Is there a money back guarantee? Someone's asking. What's his name? Peter. All right, Peter. There's always a lot of people looking for guarantees in life, and I'll tell you what. In light of transparency, we do offer a money back guarantee. However, the guarantee itself is void the moment you have your phone session with me, because my time is valuable. Okay, I'm not here to mess around. My time is valuable. I am really sought after. So if I take out my time and I chat with you, then that's it, really. But if prior to having that phone session with me, you decide this isn't for you, you're not interested in the online, you've gone through the online aspect of it, and you think it's not for you for whatever reason, which I find, which will hardly never happen, but you do get the odd people who show up and they say this isn't for them. Yes, you will always have one of those. So yes, there is a money back guarantee, but that money back guarantee is void the moment you have your session with me via Skype, because my time is valuable. So prior to actually meeting me up and having that session with me, you do have that money back guarantee if you find this isn't for you and you rather revert to being your old self, being played by women and being played by the system. So yes, okay, all the terms and conditions, it's all transparent, is there. So guys, jump straight into the cart and book. The seminar, this webinar is winding up now. I believe we have just about 5 to 10 minutes left, and I need to go. So you have that time frame now to jump and click that add to cart button and book and secure your seats. Do we have any more questions, moderator? What else have we got? Okay, can I still reattract my ex? Even though I've made all the mistakes of calling and texting her. Okay, yeah, look, you can still reattract your ex, but the most important thing is you need to understand why you want to reattract her. And like I said, essentially, you need to stop those bad moves. Those moves aren't working. If you enroll in the course and you actually jump in and go through the modules, the video modules, you will begin to understand the mistakes you've been making, and then you can begin to turn things around. A lot of people, when they go through this course with me, they find out that they've got just so much power, so much choice, so much freedom, that even when their ex begins to come back, they're like, you want to be, you want the power to flip. Okay, you don't want to give the power to the woman. You want to have that power. You want to have that ability to say, do you know what? I'm not sure I want you anymore. So, yes, you can reattract your ex back, but you need to stop making those mistakes. And that's what we're going to be teaching you in the online course, as well as in the tailored coaching package. Okay, so do yourself a favor. Go and enroll right now before we end this session. Go and enroll right now. Okay, so this is a Q&A session. Do you have any more questions? Any more questions? How do I send in my case study? Well, that's pretty simple. Like I said, we're looking for more case studies, which is why we brought the price down for this webinar. After I've worked with you, after we've had our sessions, whatnot, and then we get some success in your situation, then I'll send you a personal link on how you can create a testimonial as well. So that's not a problem at all. If you want to be one of my case studies as well, once we finish working with you, you will be able to send your own story, and I can use it in future videos. So that's not a problem. That question came from Simon. Fantastic. Let the questions keep rolling in. Okay, Benedict. Hi, Benedict. Benedict's from the US as well. Palm Beach. Is that 456? Yeah, his question is the 6 weeks package. I'm very interested in the 6 weeks package. Do I get Skype sessions throughout the 6 weeks package? Yes, you do. So with the 6 weeks package, what we do is we break down the Skype sessions over that 6 weeks course. So I'll be monitoring your progress. I'll be monitoring your situation. I will be with you. I will hold your hand. I'll be answering your questions. I'll be guiding you through the process. So if it's reattracting an ex, if it's trying to fix your relationships, your marriage, if it's issues that has to do with personal development, fitness, anything tailored specifically to you, we will be having Skype sessions by phone. Okay, and you're guaranteed at least 6 Skype sessions over the 6 weeks period. Okay, so you're guaranteed at least 6 Skype sessions, and we can spread that over the 6 weeks period. Of course, that also comes bundled with the online mastery course. So the mastery relationship course comes bundled with that. And like I say, I'll be coaching you very closely. That this is my premium product in which I'm working with you. This particular 6 weeks package has, to be honest with you, it's changed a lot of lives. It's an incredible package. Take advantage of it, and you will be having at least 6 sessions with me via Skype as part of that package. Okay, and we also throw in some email coaching as well, so we can spread that across the 6 weeks period with you. And I guarantee you, at the end of that process, your life will never be the same. Okay, a lot of people at the end of the process, they come to me and said, "Why? There's so much value in this. I mean, what? You're literally giving this stuff away." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here to help people. This is what I love to do. This is my life's work. This is my life's calling." Okay, and I made a lot of money in the music industry, in the entertainment industry, but this really is my calling because I can see face to face, I can see firsthand how I'm really helping people, helping men fulfill themselves, how I'm really helping men come to a place of understanding of this stuff. These are men who spend all their lives as the underdog. They've been the underdogs. They've been bullied by women, bullied by their peers, bullied by themselves. These are men that have had no luck with this stuff. It's such a wonderful feeling to see someone just blossom. Blossom under your tutelage, blossom under your coaching. It's not just about having abs and all of that. Sometimes you need emotional abs, you need mental abs. And a mastery of women is a mastery of self. A mastery of relationships is a mastery of self. Because that's why we're on this planet, mastery. So in answer to your question, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And you will be getting my full attention with either of the packages. So if you just want the hour, the one-off session, you're going to get so much value there. If you want to take things deeper and go with me on that 6-week journey so that you can really, really drill this home, that's great as well. So whatever suits you, guys, the webinar is going to be ending in about 6 minutes. You want to go to the add to cart button, click, put in the details, whip out your card now, guys, and make that purchase. Book your seat now. Okay, the price goes back up within 6 to 7 minutes at the end of this webinar, and I don't guarantee I'm going to bring it back down again, because the reason why it's this price, why it's only $997, and that is cheap as chips. That's cheap as chips. That's the entry level. That entitles you to access for the online course, the Master Relationship course, and it entitles you to an hour of my time by Skype, where we can actually tailor make and customize the training for you, where I can answer questions specific to your situation, okay, and really work with you. So that's the entry level, okay? I've made it really easy to come in, because as I say, I'm looking for case studies as well. Okay, we want to get rid of the pain. We want to get rid of the confusion that you're feeling. We want to get rid of that lack of power, that lack of empowerment. How much are you willing to pay to stop feeling this pain? How much are you willing to pay to stop feeling this pain? How much are you willing to pay to stop feeling this confusion? I mean, you can go around and all you're constantly doing is picking information here and there, information that doesn't work. I mean, you get people talk about no contact rule, and then you start calling the girl out to 21 or 30 days. This stuff don't work, because if she comes back to you, dude, what happens is you break up again because you don't understand what you're doing. You know, why are you doing this to yourself? Okay, this can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in alimony, divorce proceedings, expensive lawyers. You have people who say they can invest in themselves, but they have time to go visit divorce lawyers. I mean, this will save you thousands of dollars wasting on buying expensive gifts, jewelry, and going to fancy dinners with women who don't even like your ass. Okay, so let's do this right, guys. The webinar is ending in about 6 minutes, and in 6 minutes, the doors will be closed, and I guarantee you that. Okay, Thomas, thank you. Thomas is just enrolled. So, guys, Patrick, thanks, Patrick. Patrick's in. The seats are filling up fast, guys. Okay, so it's time to take action. Okay, the key benefit is this will transform your life. Either one of these packages will transform your life. Pick the one that works for you, either because of time or because of need. Okay, this is really simple, guys. This is a no-brainer. Okay, the Mastering Relationships course, a complete training for men, bundled with my bespoke training. Okay, bundled with my bespoke coaching. So I'm offering Skype coaching as well with this, so that we can tailor it to your specific situation. This is fantastic stuff, guys. Okay, we got Ellis. Ellis is joined in. Jack's taking a seat. Do you want to change? Do you want to be better with women? Do you want to have that understanding once and for all? Do you want to stop with the trial and errors, with the mistakes, with the ridicule, with the pain? You know, having another guy having his claws all over your girl. You invested so much time with that girl, and now she's gone off with another guy. Look, how long will you be losing women? How long will you be grooming women for other guys, for bad guys like me, apex men like me, to come take your girl? Okay? But now you know that the stuff you get from society doesn't work, from Hollywood, that shit doesn't work. The Mastering Relationships course, bundled with our coaching session, that will take you to the next level of understanding. You're going to be learning all the specific skill sets, the principles that you need. I mean, this stuff is gold. Okay, you're talking about how to attract your ex, avoiding the 3 deadly mistakes that a lot of you commit after a breakup. It's how to escape the friend zone. How to stop being rejected by women, how to avoid excessive calling and texting. We're talking about the 3 love phases. So you're getting an understanding of how to pick up women, how to set up online profiles. For instance, for those of you who you're too busy to approach them, we're going to be talking about the best places to meet women, what to look for in regards to attraction before you even approach them. We're going to be dissecting the dating process, the relationship phase. I mean, this is loaded stuff. And most importantly, we're tailoring this to your particular situation, okay, to your particular need, to your particular circumstance. This is gold. This is liquid gold, guys. Liquid gold. So click that add to cart button now. Choose the package that you prefer. We've made the entry level quite low at this point, but that ends in the next 5 minutes. So guys, I need to get out of here. I'm sure we all got things we want to do. So this webinar is ending in 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to go click the add to cart button and check out. So you either want to take the one-off Skype session as part of the bundle, or you want to just go and get the whole 6 weeks coaching process. Whichever way it works for me. Either way, there are limited seats. Either way, the pricing goes up. The pricing goes up at the end of the webinar. I guarantee you that. And I'm not sure when it's ever going to come down again. Because as I say, the reason is we need some case studies and we want to help some folk. Okay, so go click the add to cart button. If you have any questions now, any more questions, send them in. We've got 4 minutes before the end of the webinar, guys. Okay. Do you have any more questions, Amy? So we're about to round up now, sir. We're about to close. We're about to close our doors, and classes start immediately. So if you book now, we can start working with you quite quickly. And you cannot be wasting time. If you've broken up with your girlfriend and you've made a lot of mistakes, or she's moved up with another guy, trust me, time is important. You need to understand what you're doing. You cannot continue to make those mistakes because you don't know if this girl is actually for you. And because of your mistakes, she's in the arms of the wrong person. How horrific is that? Okay? What you're paying for this course is worth less. It's less than what it's worth. This is gold, and this is why the price is going up straight after the webinar. I mean, how much are you willing to pay to continue making these mistakes in alimony, in divorce proceedings, in wasting time with women? Your time is so important. Your time is priceless. How can you put a price on your time? Cherry picking information. The truth is right there in front of you now. The Mastering Relationships course. Click the Add to Cart button, guys. The promised land is what you can do now that you couldn't do. At the end of this course, the promised land is this. You will be able to know what a woman wants. You'll be able to gauge a woman's attraction. You will be able to reattract an ex if that's what you want. Or of course, you have the skill set to get someone infinitely better. You have a complete mastery of yourself, a complete mastering of women, an understanding of what you've been doing wrong and what you can now do right. Okay? No messing around. No messing around making better male mistakes. Okay? This is the truth. We've got 2 minutes to the end of this webinar. You need to click the Add to Cart button because my pricing is going back up. And like I said, Greg's joined as well. Greg's just booked in. I mean, thank you guys. I'm getting loads of responses now. The seats are filling up really quickly. What are you waiting for? Invest in yourself now. Okay? This course will teach you how to potentially reattract your ex. Are you tired of losing with women? Have you had enough of having absolutely no clue what women really want? Have you ever heard those fateful words, let's just be friends? Are you fed up of having mediocre and inconsistent relationships? Then click that Add to Cart button now and join us on the other side. Are you tired of seeing all your good intentions and gestures rebuffed while the object of your affection is more interested in the so-called bad boys? This course is for you. This complete training course bundled with the coaching will save you years of pain, of heartache, of confusion, time and money by demystifying the great question of our time. What do women want? You will understand what they want, how they work, how their minds work at the end of this training process. Okay? Have you had a nasty breakup, or have you had the woman that you love suddenly turn around and split up with you? All your attempts at begging and pleading for reconciliation falling on deaf ears and driving her further away? Having the woman you love jump into the arms of another man who you know isn't better than you? Or maybe she's just blowing sunshine up your ass while she's quietly moving on with this other fella. This course is for you. Take action now. Take action now. Meet us on the other side. Click the Add to Cart button. Follow the instructions. We do offer you a money back guarantee if you think this is not for you, which I find absolutely impossible. Because if you've been with me to the end, you understand how important this thing is. Now, for those of you who are here also because you want that free gift at the end, just go to the checkout page, there's a link there, go to the checkout page, you find that free link, that free gift that I promised you at the beginning of the webinar. It's at the footer link. So you go to the footer link and you click on it. It will say free gift. Click on that and follow the instructions. Okay, that will give you that free gift. It's $197 value. I always keep my promises. Okay? But for those of you who really want to jump in and you don't want to waste time with free gifts, you want to really get this home, baby, This course is for you. Click the add to cart button and choose whether you want the 1 hour coaching session bundled with it, or you want the whole 6 weeks process. A lot of my case studies have come from the 6 weeks process, so it's up to you. Either way, intense value. This course will teach you exactly what you've been doing wrong and enable you to have the kind of success you deserve with women, be it reattracting a lost love that you drove away with your bad behavior or finding new love. Either way, your life will be transformed. I will take you by the hand with the coaching process. I'll cut out all the fluff, all the bullshit, and move you from the pickup stage to the dating and finally to the relationship stage with women, if that is what you want. Of course, you'll discover why only 1% of men on the planet really understand this stuff. And by the end, the promise is you become one of them. But most importantly, if you go on this journey, that is what will happen. So you're going to, at the end of the course, if you join us on the other side, and we've only got 1 minute left, you will say goodbye to ghosting. You will eradicate friend zoning from your life. That will be a thing of the past. And you will learn the proper way to interact with women without driving them away like a weak beta male. You and I'll hold your hand, and we'll go on an amazing and wondrous journey into the female mind. We'll dissect the intricate workings of the feminine soul. That is my promise to you. And you will understand once and for all why you have not had the level of success with women and your relationships that you potentially could have. Guys, we're going to be ending in about a minute. Click the add to cart button. Thank you, Louis. Meet me on the other side. Thank you, Louis. The complete course will not only teach you how to be a more rounded and complete man and lover, but it will open up a world of choice and success for you, not just with women, but of course in other areas of your life and your mind that you didn't even realize was connected with the entire picture. So click that add to cart button. The entry level is only $997. It will be jumping back up to $2,997 in about 2 minutes time max. And of course, I'm solidly booked most of the time, 2 weeks in advance most often. So we're opening this up for you. The seats are limited. Hurry. And you need to realize that women are amazing. And it is us men that make them act crazy. Okay? So if you're ready to join the ranks of apex men like myself and those who've just booked in and enjoy levels of interaction, chemistry, relationship, and romance with women beyond your wildest dreams, then this course is for you. Take action now. And welcome to your new and improved life with women and relationships. You will never be the same on the other side of this, and we call this the Mastering Relationship course, a complete training for the apex man. Okay, we're rounding up in a minute. Merkel, thanks. Merkel's joined us. A bunch of other names that. Thank you guys. The seats are limited. We're closing. We have about 45 seconds. Like I said, the price will go back up to $2,997 for the online course and the one-off session at the end of this webinar. So this is time sensitive, guys. You have less than a minute. Okay. Just click on the add to cart button, follow the instructions. Once we process your payment, you get an email straight away. It's all secure, all 256 bits secure. You can pay by credit, debit card, PayPal. We've got you. Book now. At the end of the process, once you're through booking, we'll send you an email where you can obviously have access to the online training course itself, and you also have access to my diary, so you can book your session or sessions. And if you opt for the 6 weeks coaching session, you can now pick out a block of time over that 6 weeks where we can chat, where I can get to know you, where I can get to work with your particular case. So if you're sick and tired of losing the people you love or watching them disappear into someone else's arms, or you just want to finally master and understand what women really want and respond to, then join us inside the course now. Your future self is waiting. Thank you, guys. Keep adding to cart now, but I'm going to be rounding off the webinar now. So, okay. Thank you for attending. And this is Ike Star. I've been your host. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me your time. I hope to see a whole lot of you on the other side who've booked in. And goodbye.